If you want your country prosper, oh, that's more nutmeg and banana.
Hi there, I am Mike Noel. This is the Nutmeg Tree. Welcome to our program. On today's program, we welcome our chairman, Leo Cato. He speaks on the way forward for GCNA. With me is GCNA chairman, Mr. Leo Cato. We are here to speak about the plans for the future plans of GCNA. When we say future plans, we talk about plans for 2015, and also we will discuss, look back at some of the progress made in 2014. Mr. Cato, can you tell me how things went for the last nutmeg year?
Good morning, Mike, and good morning to your listeners. The last nutmeg year was one that I would describe as fair. The GCNA continued trading. It traded to the point where a surplus was realized. It wasn't one of the bigger surpluses, but certainly a surplus was realized. And it speaks well to the trading. It was a year with its own challenges. That nutmeg year had a sort of contracted world market. So the GCNA did not sell the amount of nutmeg and maize it usually sell in any given nutmeg year. But apart from that, farmers continue to produce, farmers continue to walk the fields, plant more nutmeg plants. So that year has seen an increase in the production of nutmeg. In fact, the greatest increase since Ivan. And an increase in the number of plants distributed by the propagating station. So clearly people have a deep interest in nutmeg, in the GCNA, and as such are taking the industry very seriously. So in terms of surplus, it was a fair year for us, but it's one we have to be reasonably satisfied about given the state of the world market and the world economy.
So are you telling me you're satisfied as chairman of how things went?
Yes, I said you have to be satisfied in context, because there's a glut there was a glut on the world market, and when there's a glut, you find the demand drops, and so the price that you would have gotten before, of course, would have fallen. So this, in terms of our surplus, had a direct impact on the surplus. But I'm satisfied. Okay, you have a plan to bring GCNA forward. Tell me about your future plans. Yeah, well, as a board, you are aware that the board is almost a new board, and the board itself is working on several initiatives to actually take the GCNA forward and to empower and to make farmers feel happier about trading and doing business in the area of nutmeg and maize. The previous board had started the initiative of the computerization of the GCNA. This is something we are finishing ourselves. The system is actually just about completed. The previous board also started the development of a website. This is just about completed as well. And the new board has agreed on a new logo for the GCNAs. That is already completed. And as we speak now, the construction of all things nutmeg spice shop is being done in the GCNA complex. So these are some of the things that we have going forward. We intend, in fact, we have identified a trainer, someone who would assist with the training of farmers as an extension officers in certain field practices as pruning and what have you of nutmeg. So we are on the ball in terms of where we're heading. We have targeted, we've just conducted interviews for a marketing officer, because marketing is a big deal for the GCNA. So we just completed interviews. We've had several applicants and they were all interviewed. So in terms of marketing, we have been working on that. In terms of quality assurance, we've also been working on that, because the quality of our product that we export to the world is critical for us. Grenada has been known for its premium product, and we want to ensure that we maintain that quality. So we have lost the quality assurance officer that was there, and we are now working on replacing that person. So these are some of the things we are actually doing to actually make sure that the GCNA is on a sound and stable footing.
I want to ask you a question that how important is quality to the future of GCNA?
Quality, if you ask me, quality is the future of the GCNA. If you don't have quality, you wouldn't really have a chance in the world market. You have to remember, once upon a time, nutmeg on the world market were really supplied by Indonesia and Grenada, right? The other very small countries, the other countries produce in very small quantities. But today, you have several other players in the market. You have Vietnam, you have India, you have Brazil. You know, there are several other countries that have joined, Malaysia. So the competition there is greater, and the quality of the product is what gives Grenada the edge. We do not have critical mass. In other words, we don't have the land space, right, that allows us to compete in volume with India and the other countries. But we have that premium product that makes Grenada a must-buy on the world market.
So you see a bright future for us.
Yes, the future is bright, and I'm very bright, but we have to ensure that we maintain our quality product, because people go to the shops and they ask on the world market for Grenada nutmeg, right? But Grenada nutmeg is known because of its quality. The moment that quality falls, then the demand and the interest in Grenada nutmeg will also fall. So it is critical for us as a GCNA, for farmers outside and other stakeholders, to ensure that we maintain a quality product.
What the farmer must do, because the GCNA has to do its part. Everyone has to do their part, but things start in the field. If you do not have the right attitude in the field, what do you think will happen to GCNA?
Well, the farmer can help. I mean, there are some basic practices that the farmer can do. The farmer can reduce, as far as possible, do not use pesticides in the area where nutmeg and maize is harvested or kept. Because, you know, some of these things are gaseous and they will just go in the air and get onto the product. So the farmer can do that. The farmer has to be careful on what material he or she dries the maize. You know, you can use bags and tarpaulin. There are some things that you can use and some things you shouldn't use, like painted surfaces. We don't encourage that. You know, so the farmer now must, for instance, when he picks up his nutmeg in the field, it will be a good practice for him or her to wash the mud of the nutmeg, right, of the maize, actually before even delivering. So you come from the field before you demace it, is a good habit to wash, because some of our farmers, based on where they have the land, the nutmeg fall into mud, you know, and we pick it up from there. So cleaning is a first stage of quality.
We say that the young people is the future, okay?
Yes.
Because the age-able people are going out,
yes,
and the young people are coming in. Because I did some programs recently with three primary pupils from Portugal School, and I did 2 from the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, and I was impressed. If that is the opinion of the young people, GCNA is safe. What you doing in order to get young people close to you?
Well, for us as an organization, it is a little bit tricky, but we have several initiatives that we think can bring them on. We have, for instance, a young farmers competition that we have contemplated on. We have, for instance, an essay competition and an ideas competition where the students are invited to come up with ideas as to how nutmeg can be used, right? How maize can be used in producing anything, right? So it could be the young leaders in the school, the junior achievers, what have you, or just any student in the school. They would be invited to come up with ideas. Now the logo competition was actually sent to the schools, right? So the schools were invited to participate in the logo competition as well. So awareness of young people and involvement of young people is also a critical component of the GCNA.
They told me so because they went to Guav, Nutmeg Station, because the Bushgrove School pupils are now doing a program on nutmegs. So they said that they went to school, they went to the receiving station at Guav, the processing station, and they also had a discussion with Mr. Garnett. So things seem to be moving as far as the young people is concerned. But we have to keep them there, because I have to go back to Bushgrove. They called me back because they did a nice program, and they called me back. They said they want to do another one. So we have the young people with us. Did I ask you about we have a bright future, in your opinion?
You did, and I indicated to you, the future is bright, both in terms of what is happening now, and it's good to know that young people, even at the primary school level, are getting involved in the GCNA and nutmeg industry. Even for the school-based assessment, I think teachers in secondary schools can give the students projects to do, projects about nutmeg and maize and spices, you know, as part of the SBA component. So you're actually building awareness, you know, even through this secondary school program, as it were.
Because they also told me that the school gardens, they are now constructing school gardens. Not only them, SAS told me that too. And in the school garden, they're thinking about planting nutmegs. But the problem is the plants. So I think that the GCNA should help in get in touch with these people, the field officer especially, get in touch with the students and help them to get plants, because that is important, okay?
Yes, I agree. In fact, any school that requires nutmeg plants could just simply contact the office, and we will make the plants available to them free of cost, right? Any school. Based on where the school is, it might be a pretty tough call planting. If the school is in South St. George, or in the Grand Dance area, nutmeg mightn't thrive well down there at all. But there are several schools, the Birch Grove and other schools in the interior of Grenada would do very well in nutmeg in the background. So if a school needs nutmeg plants, just call the GCNA, and we'll make sure that they're delivered to you free of cost.
There is a joint effort between cocoa and nutmeg extension.
Yes.
I wonder how things are going in that area. If I don't know if you know, but I wanted to express your opinion on that joint effort between cocoa and nutmeg in the extension field.
Well, as far as I know, it's working well. We are now able to reach much more farmers than we had reached in the past, and in very quick time, because we now have access to 4 extension officers other than the one we've had for several years. So in terms of reaching the farmers, right, extension services reaching the farmers, that has quadrupled, right, in the last year. I mean, it is an initiative that we have to keep revisiting every year, do an evaluation, see what the rough edges are, and get them smooth up. But all in all, it has been working very well for the farmers and working very well for both Cocoa and the Nutmeg Association.
So that is okay?
Yes, very much. We are very satisfied so far and happy with the way things have progressed.
Because I had an interview with the Cocoa Extension officer up at Carlton a few days ago, and he was very impressed with the interview, you know. So I think you are right when you say you're on the ball, that things seem to be going progressive between the extension staff at GCNA and Nutmeg Association. Brother Cato, Mr. Chairman, sorry, sir. Do you see, did I tell you about the bright future already?
Yes, you did, I answered.
You answered that. Well, we may talk about any other things that you would like to talk about, final word, that you see, any final word, any broad thing that you would like to express?
Yes, I would like us to continue to plant our nutmegs, to work hard to build the GCNA and the industry. And I want us to be each other's keeper, right? We have to be the sort of guard for each other's, because we still have the problem of predatory larceny. You know, a number of farmers with many shoot and they complain of the produce being stolen, and that is a serious problem to us. But I urge farmers out there to be on guard and let us look out for each other and work with the police to address the issue.
Are you getting the cooperation of the police?
Yes, we are getting the cooperation of the police so far. More can be done, and we're working with them to improve on what is happening. But so far, we're getting the cooperation. Okay,
I think this is my last word to you. You said any other thing you want to say?
I want to say to you, Mike, thanks for doing the program. You know, as far back as I remember, you've been, I think it was under the nutmeg tree, and you tried to help us build that awareness throughout the state. And in fact, I was talking to a gentleman only last week, and he spoke of your program. So it shows it is reaching the people, and that's critical. And in this program like this, we need to help make the GCNA spread its tentacles to every nook and cranny of this country.
It's not about me, it's about you.
Well, yeah, it's about us, but sometimes you have to give the people the kudos when they're alive. We wait until they're gone and say, oh, I think you did a good job. So I wish at this point commend you on what you've done so far, because many years ago when I was not even thinking about being a nutmeg farmer, I used to hear you on the program in the nutmeg industry.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Cato. We'll talk again the next time, because this wouldn't be our last interview. We'll have several more interviews. And you know, something I forget, how things are going for me, because you know the AGM is coming up, and it's a very important AGM. We'll be electing a new board. How things are going for me?
Well, the farmers will decide. I don't think about that at all. What we do, we do what we have to do. We do the business of the GCNA. We try to do what is right, correct, and futuristic. And the farmers will decide what happens in May. But I'm not worried about how things are going for me. I tend to focus more, and the board focuses more on how things are going for the farmers and the GCNA.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cato.
My pleasure.
See you next time. We had in our company GCNA Chairman Leo Cato on the way forward for GCNA. And we will stop here for today. Until next time, I am Mike Noel reporting.
If you want your country prosper, oh, that's more nutmeg.